People search sites are abundant. These things are everywhere. This is an industry worth billions of dollars and it's growing pretty fast. So where does all the data come from? Most of the data on people search sites comes from public records. And that's because the vast majority of your personal information is available if somebody is inclined to look for it. Birth records, marriage certificates, property deeds, criminal records, voter registration. These are just a few things that are part of the public record. Now, prior to the internet, this information was public, but it wasn't easily accessible. Getting information about somebody required chasing down clerks in county offices and having them pull up paper records. In other words, it was extremely time-consuming and inconvenient. Now, of course, these same public records exist online in relatively easy to access databases. The result is that our personal information is now more liquid than ever before. It can be retrieved on demand by basically anybody with the motivation to do so. As always, discounted links to privacy resources are available in the video description below, and if you buy through our links, it helps support our channel, and I really appreciate it. Maybe at this point in the video, you're thinking, I don't really care if somebody knows what day I was born on. That doesn't matter to me. But it doesn't stop there. Now, the rabbit hole goes much deeper than that, and we'll use LexisNexis as an example. LexisNexis is one of the largest data brokers, perhaps the largest. They are also one of the least transparent. And they do a few things with their data. First, of course, they are the company behind several people search sites that you might recognize. These are sites like VitalCheck and PeopleWise. But it doesn't stop there. LexisNexis has an additional lucrative revenue stream where they resell your personal information to private groups and companies. And they have a lot of data on people. In fact, a typical LexisNexis report is about 260 pages in length. Now, LexisNexis says that they get all of their information from public records, which is technically true, but let's take a deeper look here and see what exactly those public records consist of. So here we've got social media, college degree records, online account creation, even loyalty cards. And that's just a shortened version of the list, but even that gives me the jitters. Because even if your social media settings are private, LexisNexis can still harvest a great deal of data about you. Your email address, your date of birth, your profile picture, your gender, your age, your social network. They can tell if you went to school, when you graduated, and whether or not you have any professional licenses. Oh, and every time you sign up for an online account or a loyalty card, buried deep in those gnarly terms and conditions that you probably don't read is something that says this: that company that you just signed up for a discount card with has the right to resell your personal information to a company like LexisNexis. So we have all essentially handed over this information to these data brokers willingly, although ignorantly. When I started making this video, I really started to question some of my own consumer habits. Like, was the 10% off that I got at glitterpants.org, was that really worth trading my personal info for? Probably not, because the moment that I sold my personal information in exchange for a 10% discount, my personal information was then repackaged and not only published on these people search sites, but also resold to other private organizations. And that's what I'll talk about right now. This is an important point that I want you to take away from this video. Your data is not just sold once in a one-off transaction. No, your data is extremely liquid, and in aggregate, our personal information is extremely lucrative to these companies. One place where our personal information goes is to advertising firms. They can use that data to retarget you as you browse the internet, and that's why I personally am seeing all sorts of discounts for glitterpants.org, even though I just visited it once and I swear I didn't buy anything. I didn't even buy one pair of glitter pants. So retail marketers form one small segment of the market for your personal data, but trust me, there's more, much more. Companies like LexisNexis, Axiom, and eBureau are all in the business of reselling your private data to companies like these: debt collectors, financial institutions, employers, and even the US government, specifically the Department of Homeland Security. Take a moment to pause and let your imagination go wild with the possibilities of what these companies and government organizations could be doing with your personal data. Insurance companies use it to set your rates, banks use it to decide whether to give you that loan or not, and employers might use it to decide whether or not you're eligible for that dream job. Of course, your information could also be bought by more nefarious types: identity thieves, stalkers, and other criminals. And let me preempt the legal letters from these data brokers right now. I am not saying that they are engaged directly in the act of selling your personal information to identity thieves. I am saying that there's a thriving marketplace for your personal information, and identity thieves do compose some of the buyers. So what can we do about this? We do have a legal right to opt out of being published on a particular data broker's website. These sites are required by law to remove your information when requested, although some of them do not make it easy. So your first option, if you wanted to erase yourself from people search sites entirely, would be to manually compile a list and go through one by one and either email them or fill out the submission form on their websites, or maybe do both those things and eventually hope that your information is taken down. Most of these sites will comply. The keyword here is eventually. It's not going to be immediate, but there are better solutions. Personally, I believe that the best solution is to opt into a data broker opt-out service. Again, discount links available in the video description below. Essentially what these services do is they automate the removal request process on your behalf, so you don't have to slave away at the keyboard, writing each one of these sites one by one, requesting that they remove your info. Doing that is time intensive, and remember, these people search sites, they do have a tendency to Reharvest, which is this kind of creepy word that makes me think of aliens, but they have a tendency to reharvest your personal information and republish it even if they have removed it in the past. So it's an ongoing game of whack-a-mole. One option for dedicated data broker removal would be DeleteMe. Check them out in the video description below. And here on the screen, I'll just show some of the results that I've been able to get using DeleteMe. Another option would be to use a company like Aura, which is a more comprehensive all-in-one digital security suite that does include data broker opt-outs, but that also includes dark web alerts, credit monitoring, VPN, antivirus, really everything you would need to keep yourself and your family safe. And you can even do what I do, which is use both Aura and DeleteMe at the same time in order to ensure that my personal information is not appearing anywhere on the internet that I don't want it to. I recently made a video on the best data broker removal services, so if you're interested in learning more, keep watching. That's going to autoplay next, and I'll see you in that video. As always, discount links available in the video description below.